Hi, my name's Alison Nicol, and today we're going to be doing a little tutorial here on how to make this adorable tote bag. Now this tote bag I have made using our Coral Sea fabric range that we actually have available from our website at the moment. Today I've brought along a guest, and I'd like to introduce her. So this is Jodie Sutton. Hello Jodie.
How are you going today?
Great. So today we're going to make this bag, so let's get started. For our main bag fabric, we need to choose 2 fat quarters. So there's 24 fat quarters in this bundle that you can choose from. Beautiful fabrics, lots of nice colours that are on trend at the moment. From our 2 fat quarters that I've chosen, I've actually cut 2 15.5-inch squares. And all we're going to do is pop the right sides together and pin. And then we're just going to use our sewing machine, and we're just going to run 1/4 of an inch seam allowance along the 3 sides. Okay. Now all we're going to do now is turn that right sides so that they're facing out. Okay, now I've got our handles here. All I've used is another fat quarter from the lovely range that we have there, and I've just cut them in 2 5-inch strips, just like this. All I've done here is I pressed the handle piece in half, opened it out so that you can see the crease line, folded them into the middle and pressed again, and then folded the whole handle over again. And we're just going to run a top stitch line along the 2 long sides of our handles. Now again, when you're sewing, use your sewing foot actually as your guide so that it gives you that nice flush straight line down both sides of your handles. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to attach our handles onto the front and back of our main bag. Now all I've done to do this is I'm just going to finger press to find the center crease, and then I've just measured 1 inch either side, and then I've just pinned so the raw edges are actually matching both. Now remember, when you're sewing your handles on, make sure you pull your pins out, don't run over them, it's not really good for your sewing machine. Now we're just going to actually turn our main bag so that the wrong sides are facing out. Now all I'm doing here is, as you can see, is I've flattened that corner seam allowance where we've run up along the side of the bag. I sort of tend to go about a 1 inch, and I do really eyeball it, and then I just pop a pin in there, and you're actually going to sew along Now it's a good idea to back tack just at the start and the finish there, like Jodie's done. It just allows for a little bit of extra strength there. Then we're just going to, using some fabric scissors, and again I'm just eyeballing it about 1/4 of an inch. It just takes the bulk off the corners because we don't need them to be bulky. And so you can just see that it gives that nice flattened finish to your bag. Okay, now we're going to put our lining together now. So we've chosen another 2 fat quarters, and again just cut out a 15.5-inch square from both pieces of fabric. Now, as you can see, with our right sides together, we've run that same seam allowance along 3 sides. This gap just allows us to turn the bag through when we've actually stitched both pieces together. So you'll notice that the lining pieces are right sides facing together, but the wrong side facing out. And it's the opposite with the main bag piece. You literally just have to pop it in like a little present. So I'm going to line up both of these side seams. And as you can see here, one of my seams is going this way and the other is going the opposite. So when you actually put them together, they actually lock in. And that allows us to have a really good end result. I just like to put an extra couple of pins just in the top, just to make sure that I'm going to get that nice seam line all the way along the top of my bag. Now remember, we've actually only used 1/8 of an inch allowance when we've done our handles. So by using a bigger seam allowance now, you're actually going to hide that seam from our handles. Now that we've pinned our lining piece and our outer piece together, it's time just to run a seam allowance all along the top of our bag. Now I would probably use a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Now with the opening that we left on the side, all we're going to do is pull our fabric through so you can see the main bag coming through, and as you can see, that's how your lining and your main bag piece sits together. Now we need to obviously close this up because this is a raw edge now and we would lose a lot of things that were in our bag if we didn't. You're going to go really close to the edge, so probably like a 1/8 of an inch, and just nice and slowly through, just making sure that you're grabbing those raw edges of that opening. Pulling out our pins as we go. So as you can see, we've sewn our raw opening closed. So all we need to do now is put our lining in. Now I like to top stitch around the top of my bag, again just to give it a little bit of extra stability, and it also allows then for the lining not to keep falling out because that's really annoying. Now we don't need to pin this, it's fine enough just to finger press and then just run a line. I would use that 1/2 inch seam allowance again just around the top.
So making sure handles are sticking out.
So making sure the handles are sticking out. And there we go. So it's just about trimming off your excess threads that you've got there, filling your tote bag full of goodies and heading out for lunch with the girls. So today we've been using fantastic products that we have available on our website. We've been using the Ruby thread ranges, which are 60 weight, 100% cotton threads. As you can see, we have an everyday pack, which is 500 metre reels, and then we also have our colour graded ranges, which are 150 metre reels. We've also been using our fabric, Coral Sea, which is also available on our website, which is patchworkandcraft.com.au.